Okay, we now welcome on another very special guest. He's a brother of our former guest, Johan Gomez. He currently plays for Louisville City FC, 17 years old. Welcome on, Jonathan Gomez.
Wait, Chuck, you forgot you national team. I mean,
Oh,
U17 national team player.
okay. It's a long list. It's a long list. All right. So Jonathan, you just signed first professional contract back in March. Unfortunately, the pandemic kind of got real bad like a week or two after that. Um, so I mean, I just think it kind of seemed like you had a lot of momentum going for your career. Like you're starting to develop, playing professionally. Um, what did you kind of do during your time off to ensure that when you came back, you'd be at the top of your game and ready to play at the highest level?
Yeah, so basically I signed my contract like beginning of March and then everything got canceled about like mid-March. And I mean, we didn't know how long it would last. So like USL suspended play for like I don't know 2 weeks at a time. At first it was just like for a week, and then it kept getting pushed back and kept getting pushed back. And then obviously we didn't have training, so they were giving us workouts to do and stuff. And then it got to a point where they suspended it for like a month or like 2 months, or they didn't know when it would be back. So my coach said that I could go home if I wanted to, like to Dallas. So I went home to Dallas with my family, and I was just working out and training with some teammates. My brother, when he came home, and yeah, just some former teammates from FC Dallas, just to, continue to be fit. And then I came back. I was home for like maybe 2 to 3 weeks. I came back like at the beginning of May because we started up training like mid-May, and we basically had to like do preseason over again, which was hard. But I mean, that's how I was able to regain momentum going into this shortened season.
Now in Louisville, do you live by yourself, or do you guys are have like a residency kind of thing?
So we all, I mean, not we all, but the team provides us housing. So an apartment complex that's literally like right across the highway from the stadium where we train every day. And I have a roommate actually, but there's only three of our players don't live here, so everybody else lives here.
Oh wow. So is the team a lot of younger guys then? Would you say?
No, it's actually the weird part. There's maybe like two or three like young guys that you could say, and then there's like no like middle aged guys. Everybody else is like on the more experienced side, like 29, 28, 29 and older. So we have an older team, but also like the three or four young guys like even it out.
During the lockdown when it first started, did you guys? I mean, like during the entire lockdown, like how well would you say you got to know like your teammates?
Honestly, I thought I would get to know them a little better. We weren't really allowed to see them, even though we live in the same apartment complex. Like I would see them, I guess, when I would go out on a jog, when I would go out like to walk or to eat. But I would just say what's up. And I mean, we were all doing the same workouts and stuff, but I wouldn't necessarily say that I got to know my teammates like a lot better during quarantine. If anything, I would say that now that I'm back in the locker room with them every day, every morning, I'm learning more about them and getting advice and learning from them.
Yeah. So I mean, you were from FC Dallas. You played FC Dallas growing up, right? What kind of was your decision to go play at Louisville City instead of kind of see your way through the Dallas Academy and eventually like work your way up through there?
Yeah, Dallas has a great system and a great academy. I just my plans, my long term plans, and my short term plans lined up better with what Louisville City had here for me. I thought it was a better opportunity for my development to come here for the short term and for the long term. So that's kind of why.
Yeah. Do you like? Were there any things that had like this effect on you that made you go play for Louisville FC, then staying throughout the FC Dallas Academy?
Um, I mean, not really. No, just like I said. I mean, nothing against FC Dallas at all. Like they had a great role in my development, and they made me a better player. by far. But I just think that after speaking with the Louisville City staff, I just thought it would be better to come over here just to develop more as a player. And like I said, my goal is lined up more with what they had planned for me.
Yeah, so you're just kind of just talking about you're talking about like your plan, long term, future goals. What kind of where do you see yourself then? I guess in like 4 to 5 years.
In 4 to 5 years, I'd like to be playing in Europe in the top five league.
Top five league. Do you want to play with your brother?
Yeah, I mean, one day that'd be great. I got to play with him one game at Dallas. We played for their USL affiliate team, North Texas. We got to play one game together there. So, but yeah, I mean, in Europe, I'd love to play with him one day.
I was playing with your brother. Like how like were you guys like going at it like or like what?
Not really. I mean, growing up, we always were super competitive and we always yelled at each other and stuff. But I mean, when we went on the field together, it was just like I didn't really think of it as like he's my brother. Like he was just another teammate. Sorry.
No, it's not the first time it's happened.
Sorry, what'd you guys say? I couldn't hear you.
No, don't worry about that. Curtis's like Alexa has gone off before, and like my phone.
Right. Yeah, but I mean, going back to it, I mean, you see, like you're a really young kid and you're away from home and stuff like that. How far would you say like Louisville is from Dallas?
Driving distance. My parents actually drove up here recently. It's about 12 hours, I'd say. And then in a plane, it's like, I mean, it depends where you fly from because you change time zones. Like Texas in Central, and then Louisville's in the Eastern. But if you come from Texas to here, it's like a little less than a 2 hour flight, and then you also lose an hour because you're going later.
Yeah, back to what we were talking about before about you and Johan. So when you guys played, because you play outside back and he's more attacking, would you guys play or you play outside back? Were you guys on the same side or how would that work?
No, he was actually at the striker position. So yeah, so he's at the 9, and I was at the 3, left back.
Mm. But growing up too, would you guys kind of like always just play like one on one in the backyard, like you just like you know what I mean? Like how was that dynamic?
Yeah, I mean, I was converted to a left back about I'd say like 4 years ago. So before that, I was like also an attacker, so like a 10 and a winger. So we both like work on our attacking stuff. But ever since I became a defender, yeah, we play a lot of 1v1 and it gets super competitive. Even like when I went home for quarantine, we had a couple 1v1 matches that got pretty intense.
I'm sure. Me and
Yeah.
my bro, because I have two younger brothers too, and it like this sibling like just playing sports against each other can get
Yeah.
pretty intense, you know. I feel like it was worse like when we were younger growing up, but now it's like now I'm older and more mature, but definitely builds character.
Yeah, for sure. Especially like being the younger sibling.
Mm.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm the oldest, so like and I have a younger brother that's 2 years younger, and then another one that's six, because yeah, he's 6 years younger. So he always kind of like he was always like the younger guy, always playing up with us. Like me and my other brother, like the youngest one. So he got really good. Like Curtis, you played with him, like you know.
Yeah, he started playing with us since he was like what like I'll say like 11 or maybe 12.
Yeah, like, he was
Yeah,
always
and
playing.
he's a baller now though. But I mean, what would you say the biggest difference is playing? I mean, being a professional player or than playing like as an academy player?
I think training, the training is more intense, and I think that the coaches, I wouldn't say that they care a little more because the academy coaches care as well, but it's just like sharper and they expect more of you, like higher intensity and higher energy, and they expect you to like be able to absorb information and apply it quickly. And then also just I mean the stuff off the field, like the way you get treated. I think there's more like I wouldn't say luxuries, but like you have more trainers. Like you need like a protein shake, they can give it to you. Like whatever you need, you can get. Whereas like in the academy, there's like 25 players per team, so you can't give all that attention to every single player.
Yeah. For sure I was gonna say. But oh yeah. So what was the biggest adjustment moving from like as an academy player, young player up into I mean you're still a young player, like moving up to a professional team. What was the biggest thing to adjust?
Thankfully, even when I was at Dallas, I was able to like train in a pro environment constantly, whether it be with North Texas or the FC Dallas first team. So I would say that, um, I had experience, but here in Louisville, I think it was just like getting to know my teammates because at least at Dallas, I knew most of the players and knew how like their movements and stuff like that. And I'm still learning the movements of my teammates here, like the winger, and just getting chemistry with them. I think that was one of the harder parts.
I would say you were one of like the better younger players that moved on from your FC Dallas team. What do you think like separates you from the rest of like the other players that are on the FC Dallas academy now?
In the academy or in the first team, you said?
Oh, from the academy.
Um,
Like how would you like what would you say separates you from like the rest of the other guys?
I would say probably my willingness to get better. I mean, everybody in the FC Dallas Academy is very talented. Obviously, they might probably the best academy in the nation.
Easily,
So
yeah.
to be there, you already have to be talented. But from when you get there, what separates you are very little things, and I think that's what separates you from making it or not. Like your willingness to get better and to apply what you learn and working on off days and stuff like that. I think that's what makes the difference.
So how do you kind of obviously you're a professional now. How do you approach soccer now? Because I feel like a lot of guys on your team, it's like their full-time job. I guess it is your full-time job too. Do you see it as a full-time job, or is it just something I guess like you're passionate about that you're going and doing every day?
I mean, to answer your question, I don't think about it like I don't know, as if like if I had a normal job, like oh I'm going into the office, like I just wake up and I'm like oh I get to play soccer today, and then it just takes up my morning, and then I'm done by like 12 or 1, and then I get to come home and I do high school. I'm still in high school.
Still got classes like
Yeah,
Zoom.
so I do my school in the afternoon, and then yeah, that's basically my whole day.
So what grade level are you then in high school? Are you a senior then?
No, I'm a junior in high school.
Wow.
Yeah.
Damn. So are those classes all through Zoom, or is it just kind of online where they give you the work and then you just have to complete it whenever?
This my school that I'm doing is actually already an online school, so it wasn't like a brick and mortar school that changed to like online. So there's not really Zoom calls. There's just all the curriculum is online, and then you can join like these things called live lessons for help if you need it, where you can get like one on ones with the teacher and stuff like that. There's not really Zoom calls that are like mandatory or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Damn, that kind of sucks, low key. Like, I mean, we're in college, but like it's different because we're not playing at a pro level, playing or don't have like full time jobs. Basically, you basically have a full time job whether you like it or not. And then you just come home and then you got to do freaking schoolwork. Like that is oh my
Do you guys do
gosh.
school all day?
Nah, hell no.
I mean, I have classes starting every day. My class starts at 9:30, and it depends. Like certain days it goes later. Certain it'll end at 4, but usually it ends at like 2. And I have like an hour break, so it's like I'm only actually in class for like I'd say like on average like 4 hours a day,
Uh,
5 hours maybe. I don't know. Some days it's more than others.
Dude, I have 7 classes, 2 in person, and they get canceled all the time. And then the other 5 are online.
really?
Yeah, it's lit. Like my schedule is so fire. Like I don't have to wake up early. I mean, unless I have training throughout the day, like midday level, or yeah, like late daytime. I mean, but yeah, like I be sleeping probably until like I mean I don't sleep long. I'll sleep until like 10:30, and I'll make breakfast and then play some Warzone. But anyway, let's just talk about you. Like, do you have any future plans? Like, do you want to go to Europe? Like, would you rather go to Europe or would you like try up to go to like the first team like in MLS?
Um, I would, I mean, like I said, I want to be playing in Europe. But you guys said, I mean, in 3 to 4 years, I mean, and whichever path that takes me there, I mean, I guess we'll see. So I don't really like want to say like I would go to Europe over going to an MLS first team because maybe I have an opportunity to go to MLS first team and then I succeed there and I can go to Europe from there. So it just depends.
I feel like a lot of players are like that's happening a lot. There's a lot of players, young players especially, that are having a lot of success in the MLS recently and then are moving over there rather than going straight to Europe, you know, kind of establishing themselves first. So that's definitely something.
Yeah, development I feel like is definitely huge, especially among like the young guys, like the guys on like your team, like your U17. Well, yeah, U17 team. You guys are ballers, and you guys are all developing. I just can't wait for like the U20 World Cup for you guys.
Yeah,
Uh,
it's gonna be great. Hopefully, I'm able to be a part of that.
So for
um,
you, was you're still in high school, but is attending like did you know you always wanted to go straight to be a professional, or was attending college and playing soccer there ever in like the horizon?
Uh, attending attending college was at one point an option until the day that I decided that I was serious about this and I wanted to become a professional. And I wouldn't say that college was like I'm not going to go to college anymore, but I was like my priority is to go pro. I mean, if that's not able to be fulfilled, then I'll go to college.
yeah, I feel that because like a lot of the guys, like younger guys, like the parents are probably like, "Oh, dude, like go to school, like go to class and all that stuff and stuff like that." Like, but like a lot of the guys that I know now, like the younger guys like yourself, like you guys are like pro, like going pro, and then you guys are taking online classes just to like fulfill like your high school like, requirement, or even like your some college, some kids are in college, like your college degrees and stuff like that.
Yeah, I know my brother's taking a college online course, but my high school is actually pretty hard. I had to take like a full schedule of classes, but I mean,
Yeah,
I
that
have to
sucks.
deal with it. Yeah.
How would you say you are like on and off the field? Like what would you say that like the biggest difference is?
The biggest difference of like my personality on and off the field.
Yeah.
On the field, I'm super energetic. I'm always, I mean, here they say that I'm always energetic, but that might just be because a lot of the players are like a little older and more experienced. But I mean, I always get put like for the rondos and stuff like that, just because I'm the youngest. I'm always in the middle first. So I mean, I always have the most energy. I think I'm super competitive on the field, and I like to tackle hard. Off the field, I think I'm a little bit of a nicer person. Like on the field, I wouldn't describe myself as a nice person, and I can
Mhm.
sometimes get pretty angry or yell at you. And then
Yeah.
I would say the biggest difference is that off the field, I'm a nicer person,
Mm.
which is
So
honestly I feel like a good thing. Like I don't think being nice like on the field is like a good thing.
yeah, you definitely need like that competitive edge to succeed, I'd say. Um,
Pardon?
no, I was gonna say like
Oh.
having that competitive edge is important for success.
Yeah,
But
and I think uh, my brother helped with that. Just like when we were growing up, like competing with him so much, and he always had that, and I think I definitely learned that from him because I used to not have it.
mhm. So I mean, this is kind of hard to imagine, but because soccer is like such a central part of your life. But if you aren't playing soccer, do you have an idea of kind of what you would want to be doing?
I'm not sure to be honest. I assume I'd be playing another sport. I I'd be just going to school and I don't know. I might try out like basketball or something. But like
I mean,
I don't.
I
Pardon?
saw you play the piano. Is that something kind of you like doing a lot in your free time, or?
Yeah, I used to play the piano like as a hobby. while playing soccer. And I mean, I stopped playing it a couple of years ago, but that was definitely something that I liked doing. And I mean, maybe I would be doing that. Like, I'd be pursuing that as a career. Who knows?
Nah, playing the piano is tough. Like that thing it takes you far. And chicks dig guys that play pianos.
Do you play the
Like,
piano?
nah, I know like a few, a little show you off, ding 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 type of, you know what I mean? I know a little bit of that. Like that. What is that? Is that Beethoven, the Fifth Symphony? I can play that. I learned that. I actually taught myself that. Yeah, I was dog sitting in a summer truck, and they had a big ass piano, and I was
You're the
always
guy, Curtis, that you go just like somebody had you're at like a get parties and you have a piano and they're like, "Oh, you have a piano? Let me play a song or something."
yeah, I'm that guy, dude. I'm that guy.
Just show off.
All right. What was it like growing up with like your brothers and like your family like in one house? Like, would you say you looked up to your brother like a lot?
Yeah, I would say that I looked up to my brother and my dad a lot. I know that uh, my parents tell me that I I would do everything my brother did, and then my brother obviously liked to play soccer, and so whenever I saw him with the soccer ball, I just grabbed the soccer ball, and then my parents say that sometimes it didn't look like I enjoyed playing soccer, but I just did it because my brother did it, which may be true because I just looked up to him and what he did. So, but eventually, I mean, I found a passion, and here we are.
How old would you say you were when you were like, oh, like passion, like soccer is like what I want to do, or be like a pro or go pro?
Probably like 13, 13, 4, between like 13 and 14.
So that wasn't that like it wasn't that long ago.
Yeah, I mean, I always like had it in my head, but then it was like I want to be a pro, but then at that age I was like serious about it, I guess. Like I don't know, something clicked in my head. Like I remember the day too, like something just clicked. I think I just got mad or something, and something just clicked, and I was like, I want to do this professionally. Like I need to work harder and stuff like that.
Was it like kind of you were playing against your brother or something, and you were like he was beating you, or I don't know, and you were just like, oh, I want to be like
No,
really good at this, or or
it was actually like just in an FC Dallas practice. I think I honestly, it was definitely not 14. I might have been 12, 13. It was 12 or 13. But yeah, it was just like a Friday practice at FC Dallas. And I just started tackling like everybody, but like clean tackles too. And my teammates were all hyping me up, and I was like, I can do this every training, you know. And then like from there, yeah,
He was like, "Yo, like this is good. This is really good."
yeah,
so I mean, a lot of like for you, kind of what determines like if you have a good game, like a good game, because I know people they're like, oh, I want to score goals, I want to have assists, or I want to have tackles, or like what is it for you, you know?
yeah. I think it depends on different things. Obviously, if we're getting attacked a lot, and I don't have an opportunity to get forward, it's how many like block crosses did I get? How did I do in my 1v1 defending? How many balls did I recover? But in a typical game, I like to get forward. I'm like a modern attacking fullback, so I would say how many times was I able to get forward, get a serve in, even shots. If I'm able to get one or two shots on goal. Um, but yeah, and then I also like to look at my pass completion because that's a big thing to me. Like, obviously, no one's gonna be perfect, but I want to be as close to perfect as I can be, and aerial duels as well. So I just look at like everything, and it just depends on each game. Like I said.
Mm-hmm. As outside back, who are kind of some of your role models? Like who do you try to model your game after? Like who do you look up to?
Yeah, I would say when I first started playing this position, it was more like Marcelo, but now like more modern left backs like Rafael Guerreiro from Dortmund and Angelino from Red Bull Leipzig, as well as Alfonso Davies. Even though I would say I have pace, but I mean no one has pace like Alfonso Davies.
Yeah,
That's what we had Chris Richards on. That's what he said. He said I think like the direct quote was that he said he has never seen pace like that, and like the world has never seen pace like that. Like
Dude, dude, he breaks the FIFA record. It was like 100 pace. It's not even 99. It's just like 100. Nah, he's pretty quick. Back to like your plans of going to Europe. I know you're like, what, you're 17 now, right?
Yeah, I just turned 17.
Have you had like any like teams or any like trials in Europe yet, or any teams that hit you up?
Yeah, I went to back in February. I went to Germany and I trialed with Werder Bremen, Freiburg, and Augsburg. So that was a different experience, but it was a good one, and you get to learn a lot and see what it's like on the other side of the world.
what
How
was
was how was how was that experience? Like, would you say like how would you compare like the playing style of playing there, or even playing there compared to playing for FC Dallas, or there to playing to with Louisville?
I would say they're very they pay attention to detail a lot. Like they want to they don't want you to make any mistakes, or they want you to minimize your mistakes as much as possible. And then they also care about the physical a lot. Like I went over there and all the guys are like they're strong and like they have a great body and stuff like that. They want you to not get knocked off the ball, so you can like be over there and be weak. You got to be strong and I mean keep the ball. And then obviously the hardest thing for me when I went over there was a language barrier. So I I've been learning some German to see if when I go back I can understand some.
Ja, spreche Deutsch. Yeah.
do you use Duolingo? Because I studied abroad in Germany for like it was only like 6 or 7 weeks, and then didn't I was learning a lot there because I was around it all the time, and then now I'm back here and I don't. It's tough.
How did you like it?
I like Germany a lot because my dad is on my dad's side. He's from Germany. He has a lot of family that's there. And I liked like the whole German culture and just being there, like the soccer too. I was in Berlin, so I don't think that was really around kind of where you were, like with Bremen and Augsburg and
Yeah.
that. But I liked it a lot. I want to go back there to be honest. Like so
Yeah,
much.
it's nice.
When you tried out for those teams in Germany, like were there any other coaches like hand at you like there be? I mean, if they're not interested in you now, you think like you're like a future player, like they'll have to like bring you over.
It's hard to tell because I'm not allowed to go until I'm 18. At the time, I had uh, turned 16 a few months ago. But I would say that I did well, and they expressed interest, and they told me that they would try to track my progress here at Louisville City.
That's tough.
Yeah. So we're kind of talking about this a little bit right now. The whole U.S. national team. I know you are Mexican as well. So between the two, is there like what does that decision come down for you? Because I know like Johan was on and he was saying right now he doesn't really know. It's just kind of the best opportunity. So is that your mentality as well?
Yeah, I would say the same, and I've been to one Mexican national team camp, so I kind of have something to compare it to because I've been to both. But I would say, yeah, the same as my brother. Like, it's all about opportunity and who's gonna like help you succeed the most and give you the best opportunity to succeed.
So hypothetically, would you say like if he goes one place, would you go there as well, or you know, is that a big factor in your decision?
It would definitely be a factor. I would love to play with him on the national team. Um, but obviously there'd be other stuff that went into it. But yeah, that'd definitely be a big factor.
What kind of like goals do you have for what after like for like you would you guys be U18 next year? Is that how it works, or you guys
We're
jump to
actually like national team. We're actually classified as U18 right now. The U17 are the 04s.
okay?
Yeah.
So
So
like what
go ahead.
so like what kind of goals do you have for like that squad that's coming up? Like, do you guys have like a next like a World Cup or like the next camp? Like what do you hope you guys can achieve?
Yeah, I mean, I hope to make the roster to the next camp, whether it be an international trip, which is unlikely, or just a domestic camp. But no, we don't. I mean, we don't know when the next camp or anything will be because of COVID.
Yeah, it's a tough situation right now for sure. But I
Yeah.
mean, I guess in all of that too, is there any communication right now from the US coaching staff with you guys?
Yeah, we have a group chat. The U18 and U19 age groups combined. So we have a group chat in there. They communicate with us and they have us interact with each other and stuff like that. Just introduce ourselves and tell them what we're doing, stay fit. That was more during quarantine, but even now, still.
hmm So with
Oh,
that chat, is it pretty active, or is it kind of people don't really want to be talking in it because the coaches are in there, you know?
I mean, the players don't really like talk about like I don't know normal stuff. But whenever people text in there, it's about like the assignments that they give us or something related to the national team. It's not just like a normal group chat, where you talk about like video games, sports, stuff like that.
Yeah. So what's
is there anyone you can go, Chuck?
no, I was just gonna say, you said like assignments. What kind of, I don't know if, can you say like what is an assignment, the last assignment that they've given you?
I think the last assignment they gave us was to fill out the survey they sent us in the email. So wasn't a very hard one, but yeah.
Well, like I'm shocked now. Like, while their assignments, like, would you guys like what they like sent over for you guys to do?
Like send this 1 minute video of like telling them what or telling our teammates what we've done to stay mentally and physically fit during quarantine. And I know like my brother had to do one for his group chat where they they did like some juggling video.
Mhm.
They had to transition between each other. Like they would kick it to the side and another guy would receive it from the side and make it look like he was receiving the ball from him. And they made like a video.
Oh, I think I've seen one of those. Was it on TikTok or something like that?
I don't know if they put it on TikTok, but I know they posted it on Twitter. So they put them in like groups of I don't know 6 or 7, and then they had to make the video. Like they would do their tricks or whatever, and then like say Johan kicked it like up, I think. So the next guy would have to like receive it up. I mean from the top to make it look like it came down from Johan's when Johan hit it.
Yeah. All right. We have like two more questions left. It's like fan questions. One is what do you think needs to change about the USL in order for it to improve?
Uh, like what do you mean about the USL like development wise or
Yeah.
so I think that the USL already has a great pathway. I mean, they're developing more and more USL teams are developing academies, and they're having supposedly there's going to be in the next couple years all the USL academies and all the MLS academies will be in one league. So that'll be really good. And already like Philadelphia Union 2, Loudoun United, they're already playing a lot of their young guys. But I think that if other teams follow that role model and play younger guys, they can play a key part in success and developing those players to reach an even higher level. Because I think in USL, if you play in USL, you really have to, as a young player, you can't just like survive. You have to do things to help your team and make them better. So
Yeah. And then last one. So your brother, he has a podcast. Are you ever gonna make appearance on there?
he actually asked me a while back, and I said no. I said until I do something significant. So we'll see. Hopefully I do go on soon, but we'll see.
Yeah. I've listened to some of his episodes because I mean we've had him on and they got a good show over there. So hopefully he can make an appearance there too. I mean, was this the first kind of, I guess, like podcast interview you've been on?
I've been on this other one called Starting 11 podcast. I don't know if you guys heard of them, but I've had a few other interviews, but um, yeah, that's about it.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
Well,
no, I don't think I've heard of them, Chuck. Have you?
no, I don't think so. All right. Well, thanks, Jonathan, for taking the time out of your day to come on and talk with us. And we're excited to see you continue to develop. Hope see you up with the national team soon. And then, I don't know, see where you go from there. Hopefully we see you in Europe in the next few years.
Yeah.